So it's been a hot minute since you've seen me, and I figure I owe you a little bit of an explanation. About 4 weeks ago, I had what I was fairly sure was a heart attack. The ER says it wasn't a heart attack, but we don't know what it was. Either way, spent some time chatting with my doctor, had me on a heart monitor for a couple of weeks, and now I'm just kind of waiting on the results to that. In the meantime, my doctor wants me to minimize my stress levels. Words. Where do I find the right words? So, yeah, that's scary as shit. In the meantime, my doctor wants me to minimize my stress levels until we figure out exactly what's going on. So I'm balancing a full-time job with all the property maintenance that goes along with having this place, getting actual progress done on the car so I can get it back on the road and enjoy it, and trying to get 2 videos out a month, more if I can. I gotta dial back somewhere. Working on the car, it's not stressful for me. Work, can't do much about that because, well, gotta make that money. So the 2 places that I can dial back my stress level are stressing out about getting the property taken care of and stressing out about, oh my God, I have to get this YouTube video out. So I've actually dialed back in both those places. Now that doesn't mean I haven't been working on the car, because working on the car is actually pretty relaxing for me. The last thing you kind of saw in the interior in the car is I was working on replacing the torsion bar crossmember and the floor pans until I tried to hack my finger off. I had the passenger side pan mostly welded in, and the driver's side pan still needed some work. So in the last couple of weeks, I've actually got the driver's side pan welded in. I've got it all primed, got some seam sealer down, put in some sound deadening and insulating matting, got in new carpet, and after the work that we did on the dash and the dash pad, we got those all put in. And this is kind of where we're at now. We got our dash installed, we got the pretty new carpet, we ended up getting in new door sills, cleaned up the door cards as best I could. They came out pretty good, but they need some work. The rear seat and door cards cleaned up pretty nice. And I intended to get these seats reupholstered as well. They're still pretty much the main eyesore of this whole thing. While I have the filling to do the inside of the seats, the seat covers are another story entirely. Website says 10 to 12 weeks. Yeah, no. Only one place makes the seats for a Dart 270, and they're backed up 30 to 34 weeks, so I'm not gonna see seat covers until November. Fun! And with all that done, I kind of moved into the next stage of the work that I need to do, which is replacing these rotted out upper control arm mounts before my suspension falls apart. And as you can see, the outer fender's been removed, and the inner fender's also been cut away. And I've built myself a little jig to kind of make sure that our control arm mount here actually goes back in at the same angle that it came out. So between this front plate here and the back plate back here, I can actually take and run this 1/2-inch rod all the way down from the front plate into the back plate, and it's pretty tight. So I've also taken measurements from this edge of the shock mount hole to right next to this bolt in the firewall, and from this edge here to just above this bolt in the radiator support. And in my last one, I took from this edge here down to this lip centered on the bolt on the idler control arm mount. So with the jig and the measurement, I should be able to ensure that the new piece goes in right where the old one was. So now it's a week later. I got the results from my heart monitor back, which is good news. Not great news, but better than you're dying. I've also progressed on the Dart a little bit. Had my father-in-law out for Father's Day, and he actually helped me get my suspension parts cleaned up. Then I hit them with some Duplicolor Rust Fix, and once the rain starts falling out of the sky, we'll go ahead and get those painted up. Thank you very much, Jim, by the way, if you're watching this. And while Jim was getting those cleaned up, I was working on getting the upper control arm out and getting the area cleaned up and ready for the new piece. And this is where that sits right now. So since the outside of our frame rail was all rotted out, I went ahead, cut that away, patched it, and I did the same with the upper edge of the inner frame rail as well. and it was almost done getting the whole thing zapped in. But then I ran out of welding wire. I also need to get my various brackets cleaned up and welded back into place. We interrupt this video of an idiot talking about his car to say thank you. Thank you for all of you that come back with every new video. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I promise that this break will be as short as I can safely and healthily make it. Oh yeah, I completely forgot to show you. I got the windshield put back in. Got brand new gaskets and a brand new lock strip. So now, I just hope it doesn't leak anymore. But before I get to doing any work today, I have to get rid of the flies. I don't know if you can see the little bastards, but there's about 30 of them in here. So yeah, that's where this guy comes in. Tennis racket / bug zapper. I used this yesterday to pretty good effect. Once again, thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. Whoa, these little fuckers are quick. Failing, get out of my garage. Ooh, 2 for 1. That's better. We're down to like, I lost him. That's better. Down to like 3. Make that 2. Either way, it's better than it was. Now I got a fresh bottle of gas. I can go to solid core wire, finish welding this thing in, and that'll probably be it for today. Boogers. Really? Not too bad. I definitely prefer the solid core to the flux core. Much cleaner. And it's also a whole lot easier to see while you're welding in the moment. You're ruining my shot. Got him. So that's where I'm at for the time being. Now, moving forward, I need to go ahead and get our new inner fender cut to fit and then get that welded in place. So kind of getting all the bugs and the kinks of my process worked out here on the driver's side. And then we'll probably do a full-on video on the passenger side here, because yeah, that's bad. So stay tuned. I will be back with more Dart things. We will have this thing up and running on the road before the end of summer. Au revoir, mes amis.